CP3.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network. Thank you, gentlemen.
CP3, live from the lab. Many can copy us, but none can duplicate us. DJ Jules. Beats by CP3. CP3, live from the lab. Many can copy us, but none can duplicate us.
That's right. Excuse me. CP3 live in the lab, coming to you with exclusive interview with Gabe Taylor, Rice University standout, also brother of the late great Sean Taylor. There's a lot of things going on this weekend with Sean Taylor's number getting retired with the Washington football team. The fan base has been, upset about the short notice given with the ceremony that's going on. The president of the organization came out and apologized for their short notice. Said it was in the works. They apologized for the notice, and fans want to come out and show their support. Gabe, appreciate having you on tonight. You taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you have a game tomorrow night that you, excuse me, getting ready for. So I'm just wanted to get your opinion on that and get that out the way so we can talk about, your season and what's going on with you tonight.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, we play UTSA tomorrow at 5. Very excited. And after the game, I'll be coming down to Washington.
Oh, so you will be able to make it to the ceremony. That's glad. I'm glad to hear that. Because that was one of the things that I was going to ask you with the short notice. Would you be able to chance to make it? Because I know your family is going to be there for the halftime ceremony.
Correct. I will be making, yeah.
Glad to hear. Glad you're able to make that. So let's go ahead and get into, as you said, your upcoming opponent. Right now, you're at Rice, 2-3. You're playing against UTSA, who's 6-0. I'm not a real big college guy, so I'm not up on everything that you have to combat against this undefeated team. But what do you think you guys will have to do to try to get the upset and get the victory tomorrow?
First, they're a very good team. You have to stop the run and make them throw. Contender quarterback. He's very good on his feet. And if we can do that, we can come up with a dub.
Definitely. That's always the key. Make a team one-dimensional and then, get a lead and make them play from behind, which is a great combination, which is one thing the Washington football team definitely needs to do. But we'll talk about that another day. So I was looking at some of your bio and, the history. I didn't know that you were a basketball player. My co-host sent me a link to some info, said you had a quadruple double in high school.
Yeah, I did. I played all 4 years of basketball in high school. I didn't play football until my senior year. And so, that's really.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Yeah, I saw it said you hadn't played since the 8th grade, and that you, excuse me, that you started varsity from your freshman year playing basketball, and then you, got back on the football field your senior year. And just looking at some of the highlights and some of the skills you show on the football field, I mean, seems like you're an all-around athlete. Said you were nominated for the 2020 McDonald's All-American also. You were nominated for the, what was it? Can you read my hand right? You were the male athlete nominated for Male Athlete of the Year 4A and 1A, finalist for the Nate Moore Trophy, Uh, how was I know Florida is a real hotbed for football and basketball. A lot of competition down there. How did it feel being amongst those ranks of athletes in that area, knowing that the area is so rich with talent? How did it feel, experiencing going through all that, being excellent on the field and being recognized for it?
It felt good. All the hard work pays off, but it's not enough yet. What I'm saying? I got to keep continuing to work and put my head down and stay focused on my goals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the way. That's the way to do it. You're doing very well on the field, but it's always more you can learn, and always more you can improve on. Um, so being a Florida guy, what inspired you to go play for Rice in Texas? I know Florida and Texas are known as football USA. They've always been battling for who has the best high school football. So what led you to Texas instead of staying in your good old Miami or Florida area?
I felt comfortable. They treat me like family. That was my. I really wanted to go to a school I really wanted me. And I feel like they showed the most love. So that was my main choice right there.
Okay. Yeah, you got to feel comfortable and feel at home, especially if you're planning to spend your college career there. You want to learn and have a good experience in all aspects, not just on the field but off the field also.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's definitely very key. I was watching some of your highlight films, and not to compare you to your brother, but seems like you have those same ball hawking skills that he has. That you have the knack to read the play, see where it's going, and you react on it. Inst- like an instant, and you're off to the races. I saw you said one of your nicknames was Mister Pick Six.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that hard in high school. I mean, there's so many routes you can run in high school. They don't do like a lot of double routes, so I really it was very easy to pick up on that. And so just watching film just helped me a lot, and translated just film work and just believe my instincts just kicked in. So it's really
Yeah, that's yeah. I played, middle linebacker myself, but yeah, having those instincts and being able to read and study up on your opponent on it's not just about being on the field, but it's have to put the time in the classroom and watching film and watching tape is very key. So yeah, those are very important keys, and it sounds like that you have a good mindset on that. We have have had a couple of players in this football team that have problems studying tape and doing the diligent work to perfect their craft. And it sounds like you already have that good idea and that mindset to go forward. So that's always good to hear. So question, I like I said, I was a defensive player. Which do you prefer? Well, which do you like better? A nice hard hit to jar the ball loose, or a nice interception and a pick six?
I mean, you always want to have a hard hit, but like a pick six, you can't, that like that's a touchdown right there.
Yeah, I
That's
was never
that,
fast
you
enough
know, that's
to. Yeah, I was never fast enough to make it to the end zone on an interception. If I was lucky enough to get one, so a hard hit and a nice fumble is always a good thing for a linebacker. That pick six. Um, so who do you feel you model your game after? You know, from all the film that you've seen and stuff that you follow, who do you feel like you try to model your game after, and what players inspired you?
I really don't try to modify. I just want to any player. I try to watch Sean, of course, Matthews. But at the end of the day, I try to try to get 1% better every day. You know what I'm saying? And try to continue to keep working and get better at my craft. Because I only did 1 year high school and what I'm saying, just keep working. That's all I got to do.
Definitely, yeah, you want to keep striving and get better. 'Cause, the era of football that I came in was a lot more physical than the era that we're playing in now, and that's one thing I was, checking out on some of your hits. That your hits have been, pretty clean. That you came up with the new technique of tackling, and you do get a little physical out there sometimes, but you avoid the head area. You mostly stay in the chest area. So did that come from when you started playing small, or is that something you had to adapt to your game? Because when I was coaching way back, we didn't teach the heads up tackling, and it's harder for players to change that once they've been taught a certain way. So did you learn that from when you were younger, or is that something that you've adapted to with the change of the football culture?
Growing up, when I played like little league and like to eighth grade, I learned from my dad. My dad taught Sean how to hit, so just watching them, I learned how to hit. We was mostly back then. They didn't. It was the same rules that Sean would did, and like so we was like trying to knock somebody's head off. But now you got to learn how to tackle correctly, fundamentally, and so I went back to my dad to work on that. So that's how you do it.
That's solid. That's solid that you were able to, your dad was able to help you, make sure you stay on track, that you're hitting safely and correctly. Because yeah, you don't want those penalties, and you don't want the concussions that can come from that.
Mm.
So I'm gonna ask a couple of academic questions since you're in college. What are you studying? Is anything that has piqued you as maybe something that you want to study, as not saying that you wouldn't go to the NFL, but say if you had a career path, is there anything that piqued your interest down there at Rice?
I'm majoring in business and minor in sports management.
Nice, nice. So thinking about aging or something like that after football.
Business, yeah. So I'm on there.
All right. Let's see. I didn't really have a lot of questions in depth. I know you, like I said, got to get prepped for a game and everything. Don't want to keep you up too late. I was just looking at some of your stats from the season. You have 18 tackles, 14 solo, 4 assists, and I saw you recorded your first career interception against Texas a few weeks ago. How did that feel to get that first pick in NCAA?
Ooh, it felt amazing. Like one of the best feelings I ever had. Cause I said watching from the sideline, watching college game on TV, and now I'm like actually in it, and that was just a crazy moment.
I could imagine. I could imagine. I never got a chance to make it to the college level, so yeah, those dreams come true. It's a great feeling. Um, Playing in a tough conference USA. Like I said, I don't know much about college, but how is it down there, the climate in Texas with everything going on, football wise, and folks getting back into the groove with the pandemic? Have y'all stadiums been pretty packed? Have they been, everything been going pretty good, and they haven't had too many incidents down there with anybody getting sick or anything? Hopefully.
No, everything's been a smooth transition. Been a good amount of people at the games, came to support. Our conference is very tough, very tough. But uh, we worked hard, and we're like a close family, brotherhood, and just come out and just play.
Yeah, that's all you can do is play the opponents that's lined up in front of you. Play as a team and make it happen. That's all you can do. All right. Let's see. Is there anything that you want to talk about, get off your chest, or say any thing to some of the Washington football team fans that's probably tuned in right now, and that you'll be here to hopefully root on a Washington football team not getting embarrassed against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday?
Oh no, we win that game for sure. Um, I'm ready to be down there. Uh, it's always love for the Washington family, and I just thank you for bringing me on to the talk show.
Well, I greatly appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, I know you got a lot going on. Student athletes are some of the hardest working folks in this country, and I'm glad folks are finally recognizing that, because studying all day, practice, going to class, and all of that. Yeah, that's I work hard, but yeah, that's a lot of hard work. So I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck tomorrow, and hopefully in the future we can link up again and maybe do a couple of more interviews and follow you throughout your collegiate career, and hopefully follow you to your pro career.
For sure.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, you have a good night. Be blessed and have a good game tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Okay. like to thank Mr. Gabe Taylor for coming on tonight. It was just he got held up a little bit with his team dinner, so we had to push things back a little bit, unfortunately. So didn't get to really go into everything I wanted to go into. But like I said, you can always reach back out again, and make sure you check us out Sunday for the pregame, postgame for every Washington football team game. Mentioned they'll be playing Kansas City at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. Hopefully they handle their business and it's not too ugly. We said that against Buffalo and we saw what happened. But as I said, I spoke to some of my sources at the park, and they said that some defensive things should be adjusted and changed. We should see more blitzing. We should see more man coverage as opposed to the zone we've been seeing. So stay tuned. Pre-game around 10:30. Post-game about 20-25 minutes after the game. And then don't forget to tune in for At the Bar Radio, 6 o'clock as always. Talking current events, politics, entertainment news, independent music, of course, playing the best independent music videos, which I'm about to play now to end this special episode. So I appreciate y'all checking us out. You can always check us out Monday night, Sports on the Hill podcast, 9 o'clock. We'll be covering the Washington Capitals, who play tomorrow night on the Tampa Bay. They defeated the Rangers 5-1 on Wednesday for their season opener. Myself and Anna Knox, will be covering the Capitals around 9 o'clock. Then we'll be covering the Washington football team around 9:30. Then we'll get I believe we'll have our NBA roundtable on. I believe the NBA season has started. So I got to get in touch with the roundtable, but I'm sure they'll be ready to rock and roll, bringing you the best NBA coverage roundup around the league, along with your Wizards coverage. And stay tuned for more special episodes we might have in the future. As always, DC Sports without the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. CP3, live from the lab, and I'm out.
Money, I love that money.
Lucas.
Money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make me shut him mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say. Stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make me shut him off. Keep playing with this Goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, 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 what I'm talking about. Day in my life, I take me a different route. And use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get erased, what you talking about? Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm feeling like Robert Horry. Nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign. So independent, my money be corporate. These rappers is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jump in, take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, man. And you can never, ever, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you play the game, then you play by the rules. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about.
Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know, I know, I know, I know, and I'm here, and you know it, it's all just the same, and I know it's gonna be disco. Take me to a place where everybody learns, where everybody sees, where everybody shows that